You are listening right now to the Savage Life Podcast, brought to you by Kink Media.
Yo, I could win $1 million today, and I'm still gonna strip tomorrow because I love that shit, bitch. I love lying to niggas. I love shaking my ass for money. I'm about that lie.
That ace.
I need all my scammer niggas. Bring that cash out.
Took her out of filers cause her pussy pop. I'm running like Nike, we got it on lock.
I love that shit, bitch.
Yes, okay, so, hello, the fucking Savage Life Podcast in this bitch.
Hey.
This is the Savage Life Podcast reboot. This is part 2, I guess.
The sequel.
Yeah,
The sequel.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's go around and give insight on each of us because we may have new listeners who don't know us. True. So I'll start. I'm Raquel Savage. I'm a sex coach and sex educator and sex worker. So that's me. I don't know who want to go.
I am Veronica Santos.
Yes.
I am just a sex worker right now. That's
lit.
all I am.
I'm Lexi. I am a sex worker ally.
Yeah, okay. I love that.
That's it.
I love that. I'm so excited to be doing this fucking podcast again because I feel like Lex and I did this podcast for 2 years, and I feel like what we hear the most is that our casual conversation about shit was so empowering,
Right.
and we didn't even really think of not that we didn't think it would be powerful, but it was just we just talk about sucking dick and shit and
Yeah.
people oh my god, I be getting BV too, and oh my god, my pussy be yeasty, and oh yeah, and it's
I think it's because it's stuff that women always talked about, but never put it on a platform to feel hey, I do that too, or I feel like that too, and and we're cool as fuck on top of that. We're educating your ass, but then we're also giving you the dose of ratchetness that you need, and it's just the perfect little mix.
Exactly.
As somebody who was a fan. I mean, I listened to all the episodes.
I love
it's
that.
It's really
Me
exciting
too.
to know, beyond the actual podcast. Okay. Yeah, it feels good.
Well, that's so amazing. I love that.
Yes, welcome, girl.
Wow. Okay, so how's everybody doing? What's been going on in lives? What's happening?
Yo, I've really been on my white woman housewife shit. Right now my partner, she has a second job, so I'm really home, and I make sure that dinner's ready.
Oh, look at you.
And she takes care of things for me, and we go out to Disney a lot, really white woman shit.
That is white.
We have our 2 kids. That's Chloe and Boomer, my cats.
Yes.
And yes, I love it though. That's literally what I want to do. I just love being a housewife.
Vibes.
Yes, but with no kids.
Housewife vibes, no kids, but I feel for me that would be also doing drugs. That would be my addition to that.
I smoke a lot of weed, drink a lot of wine.
Let me have lots of pills.
Okay, yeah, lots of wine. I see lots of wine.
At minimum.
Or vodka. Vodka or wine, I feel are housewife drinks.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
But it's got to be vodka and Percocet. Or vodka and some Xanax.
Yeah.
Totally just blackout.
I'm feeling my weed.
Oh, no.
Why do you feel you need drugs to be a housewife?
Because I feel that's good housewife vibes. Just to be in the crib high as fuck, talking to if I could have some Xanax in this bitch and be a housewife who was just touching my plants all day, I would literally do that.
I've never done Xanax, and someone actually gave me a half a pill, and I just have it, and I haven't even taken it.
Okay. I don't like it.
You don't like it? Okay, that's the thing. I'm just nervous of what it's gonna do to me because I've never done it before.
The one time I tried it, but okay. I did it. I smoked and I drank Hennessy, and then I took a whole bar of
So you was awesome next.
And
did you stay awake?
No, I woke up under my bed.
Okay, see.
And so ever since then, I'm Xanax is not for me. So I never tried.
Well, maybe
it
not Xanax, Hennessy, and weed. Maybe just Xan, not
I
the rest.
Exactly.
I love Xanax so much, but I do know that the trick is you cannot mix it with liquor.
Okay.
You can smoke and do Xanax, but you cannot mix that shit with liquor.
Okay,
Like, it literally makes you black out and, like, go do shit that you would never normally do. But I think that taking a little half a bar, you know, just chilling out, vibing out, that is the fucking...
The person that gave it to us was, like, this older white man who works, like, with us. So, like, he, like, does that every day. So, is he to connect? Because... No, I don't think so. He was just... It was a situation.
Okay, all right.
But, like... He does that every day at work. Like, he just takes one every day before work.
I mean,
so,
yeah,
like,
for some people, it's like a prescription. Like, they need to take it. I don't know how they function after that shit. I really could not. Like, the time I took it, I was on a date, and he gave me half of one, and I was like, I don't feel none of this shit. Like, give me the other half. Like, what the fuck? And he gave me the other half, and then the thing I remember is, like, I remember my head, like, you know, like those dogs who, like, have their head out the window, like, I remember my head being out the window.
Yes.
And I'm just, like, trying to get some fucking air, and then I woke up the next day under my bed, fully dressed, jacket.
So you was getting the air on the face with the teeth pulling back. Yes. And then it was like,
yes. And I never tried. I'm like, yo,
I hear you. I understand that.
I'm not. I just couldn't.
That is the liquor Xanax combination for sure.
I couldn't.
The just straight up bars is just like mad relaxed.
Okay.
And no social anxiety.
Ooh.
Yes. Just like honestly, what I have heard about Xanax, like medically, is that it's like a pill version of alcohol. Okay. So you know how alcohol makes you feel like uninhibited and relaxed and like, oh, I'm so social. Yeah. It's like pill form that, but more controlled.
Okay. I'm gonna try it.
Correct.
I have that ready.
Yes.
That's my life.
That's good.
Summed up.
Okay, so you're housewife vibes.
My skin is glowing.
Yes, exactly. Like, your fucking edges are laid.
Thanks,
like very laid.
Thanks, girl. Thank you.
Yes.
Lost a little weight.
Yeah.
Titties are still big.
Titties look magnificent. Thank you. I've been telling you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love that. I love that. What about you? What's been going on?
Mine's been okay. Nothing too interesting. Just working. I'm working on launching my lingerie and loungewear line. Oh. So hopefully next year it'll be done. And then if that goes well, I do want to incorporate like sex toys and all of that. So
that would be lit.
That is what I'm spending a lot of time on because I didn't know it was so much work to start a business.
Fuck yeah.
And like I don't know like any of these legal terms. So someone got the LLC for me, but I don't know like anything. Like I don't know how like the first step start a business. Yeah. So I'm like trying to like teach myself all of these things. But now at this point, I'm like I'm just gonna hire somebody to like do this stuff for me.
I hear you.
That's how it goes.
I can't. I don't want to like fuck up.
Like you know what you want to do, and somebody else knows how to execute it, and that's it.
That's good though.
I'm ready to invest in some lingerie.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah, where are you at in the process? Like, what's going on?
So, I already bought a bunch of lingerie. So, now I'm just, like, trying to find, like, loungewear and stuff like that.
Loungewear is, like, like, what do the Kardashians wear when it's Christmas and they all match? Is that loungewear?
Kind of like that, like cute little like two-piece, like stuff that you would wear like around the house, or like you're gonna go like do some errands or something. You know? But I want it to be like still cute enough that you want to wear outside, but still like not cute enough that you're not gonna go put some heels on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want it to be like comfortable, cute, pretty, and so just like finding designers for all that stuff, it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Especially because I want to make it like, because I'm not a small girl, like I'm not like skinny or anything like that.
Right.
And so like finding stuff that like fits and everybody, it's really wild how limited sizes are.
Tell me about it.
Right.
And it's just like, people are not an extra small. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are. I mean, I know there are extra small people, but it's like...
Yeah.
That's not like my target audience because I'm not extra small. Right. So I want to make sure like my stuff is for like curvy women, girls with a little meat on their bones. Correct. So it's like, it's been hard trying to find stuff like to fit the demographic that I'm like looking for. So that's been the biggest struggle. And so...
You got it, girl.
That's important though, because basically you're trying to make everything that you're creating like available to everybody. Yeah. And I feel like so many lines don't do that for whatever reason. Like I feel like maybe it was like last year. I wouldn't say I got into it, but I had like a little back and forth. Bless you. I had a little back and forth with the company that makes the stockings that have diamonds on them.
Yes.
Okay, so and like Beyonce be wearing them, like all the stars be wearing. Like, it's a poppin' ass company, but she's a single. So she like runs the business herself. Whoever the owner is, she tweeted a picture of people wearing, I believe it was like nudes. So like nude stockings, all nude fits, onesies, you know, with the diamond rhinestones. Beautiful, amazing. And it was like 10 girls, all different colors, you know, and she's kind of showing the range of the palette of the options. And I retweeted it and I was like, where are the fat bitches? Like, where are the big bitches? Like, this is literally all fucking skinny girls. So where are the big Jones? And she basically came back at me like with all this attitude about like, oh, well, we don't size this or we do this or blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, so essentially you're making a product that is only accessible and wearable by skinny bitches. Right. And like, skinny bitches, you know, y'all, you know, do your thing, but like, what the fuck about the rest of us?
Yes. Well, my thing is, I've never been skinny. Like, when I was a little kid, like, I lost a lot of weight, but I've never been skinny. Like, I've never been less than like a size 12 in pants. You know what I'm saying? So like, for me, like, if I'm gonna start a business with clothing, if I start a business with clothing and I can't even include shit that I can wear, it makes no sense to me. Like, for me to even invest in something like that. And so I do see, like, in the market of, like, lingerie and stuff like that, a lot of stuff is only inclusive for, like, smaller women.
Yes. And one size fits all.
And that's not
one
true.
Size fits all
because,
at all.
listen, I just bought, so, like, because I do content and stuff like that, I just bought some stuff from this one company. I'm not going to name no names, because I don't want to start nothing. But I bought a whole bunch of stuff from this one company, and it's, like, a sex worker-owned company, so I'm like, I'm going to throw them some coins. Right. I bought a bunch of stuff. And a lot of pieces were one size fits all. The moment I put that shit on, it ripped. The underwear ripped. Then I had another piece.
I saw you talking
that
about
was like a 2-piece green, so pretty. It was a green piece set. The moment I put the stockings on, they ripped. And I'm like, yo, this shit was $40 each item.
That's crazy.
All that money is gone now because I can't wear this shit again.
Do you think that was a sizing thing or like a quality thing?
I think it was both. Yeah. Because when I received the item, I was like, no way this is gonna fit me.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I know my body and I know what fits me, and I'm like, no way this is gonna fit me.
And that's another thing is when you order things in your size and it comes way smaller. Like, bitch, this is not a fucking large.
Exactly.
This is a motherfucking...
And that's what they tell you, like, when it comes from, like, overseas, they're like, those people in, that's what a large is to them. It's like, that's the fucking problem. That's the fucking problem. Right. I literally just ordered a jacket for when I'm going out of town, and it was it said it ran small, so I ordered, like, 2 sizes up, and it still fits how my size should fit. It's like I ordered 2 sizes up, and it still fits how my size should fit. So
like, you want to be a little roomy, a little spacious, put a little sweater on.
I could layer, nigga. No, I can't layer shit. Like,
you gotta be butt naked under that jacket. Right. Exactly. Just unzip it titties.
It just really doesn't make sense. It's the thing is that now it's like a trend. It's like a fad to have thicker women,
like plus size shit.
Yes, and so people are doing more of it. And there are a lot of places, thank goodness, that are offering that. But it took a very long time. Like, I've never been small. Never have I been small either. And so to find, like, cute clothes, slutty clothes, sexy clothes, bras, like, you can't find it. And before, you know, when you went to a plus size store, you were getting shit that was like, you know, like, I don't know, made shit, like I don't know, just shit that you're not supposed to wear, like that a young person wouldn't want to wear. It's like old lady shit. Yeah, and it's just like, no, like I'm a big girl, but I want to have my titties out, I want to have my ass out, I want to have my stomach out, like I want to do the same shit that everybody else fucking does. So thank you for the people who do it.
Right, yeah. So kudos to you for making for what you're doing, being inclusive and having everybody like ready to be whores.
Yes.
Because everybody
gotta be hoes. I want everybody's titties, ass, everything out.
Gang with the motherfucking hoes.
What's your update, Rocco?
My update. I would like to update that I have been fucking with a white boy. Ooh.
That's an update for that ass. So when you say fucking with, you mean he?
I I mean that
you care about him.
No. Yes. He's a gentleman who is. So he's a gentleman friend of mine who is a white boy.
Okay, how's that going for you?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that, like, I don't know what the fuck has been going on with me, but I have been, like, in the past, like, 8 months, I've been in this weird place where I've been, like, really attracted to white men. And that is, like, such a weird shift for me because what the fuck, like, bitch, hello, colonizer ass, what the fuck am I even, I don't even know. But I've been, like, really, like, oh my God, he's so, and, but, like, I don't actually, like, have sex with white men, so it's not like I was, like, acting on it. I was just, like, kind of, like, attractiveness. And then, like, the situation came about for me to be engaged with a white penis, and then boom, here we are, and now I'm sucking on white dick. So I don't really know.
Is it good white dick?
You show my hand.
Okay. So like, this is my fear of white men is pink penis. Is the penis pink?
No, it's it's white, but it's like so pale white, like it looked like. Okay, I don't know if anybody listening watches.
Pink.
I have seen pink white dicks for sure. No,
right.
like that ass. But there's also like a version of white dick. If anyone watches American Dad, there is a character on American Dad who is a young boy who has been like, a surgeon has fucked him up by like trying to make him tall by breaking his knees, but he doesn't actually get tall, and he's just like this really sickly and pale small child, and the color of his skin is like the color of what non-pink penises are for white men. Okay. So it's like also white, but it's more a pale ass, like it's not a good, like it's like creamy and gross. Yeah. I don't know how to describe.
Okay, so how do you suck that dick?
So
like what?
Okay, wait.
Everyone doesn't have a big dick.
Let me give you a background, please. So okay, so my homeboy put me onto him, right? And he's like, oh, I'm trying to decide how much I want to say.
He would be good for you.
He's an athlete, right? Okay, he's like, you should link with him, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, and so then like we started DMing or whatever. Like I liked a couple of his pictures. He DM'd me right away because my homeboy also hit him up like, yo, my bitch is about to hit you. So then he was already prepared, and it was like, all right, cool. So then he DM'd me, and we were talking or whatever, and I was like, oh, what's good, what's up, like, and then he was like, let's text, like, text me or whatever. I was like, all right, cool. So we started texting, and he's like, I'm trying to fuck with you. What's up? What's going on? And I sent him a video of me sucking dick, and it happened to be a video of me sucking King Nasir's dick. And King Nas has a big ass black ass dick. Right. He's got like the BBC of dicks, right? Like huge, big ass, fat ass dicks, right? But in the video, I'm like swallowing it whole, and I like that little clip because I feel like it's a good, introduction to my skill set. It's like this is a good free clip that I can send people to like give them an idea of what you're about to like see and correct, right? So I sent it to him, and then he seen it, and the first thing he said was, my dick doesn't look like that.
Well, I'm aware.
And I was like,
I would hope not.
Okay. And I didn't know if he was trying to say that his dick is little or if he was trying to say that his dick is not black. So, because I don't know. So I was just like, well, that's okay, whatever. And he was like, it's definitely not that big. So then I'm like, okay, he's talking about size.
Oh, well, that's good that he
clarified, yes. Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, don't worry about it. And what I said was, I hope he never listens to this. Wow. What I said was, Nasir is a porn star, so of course his dick is big. Porn stars got big ass dicks for no fucking reason. Right. The average size dick is not like Nas's. So I was trying to like, assuage him, make him feel okay.
Which is true though.
Yeah. Because realistically, like King Nas do got a big ass fucking dick. It's like nobody, okay.
Yes.
So he was like, all right, cool. And then I was like, all right, cool, the conversation over. And then he was like, have you ever sucked a white dick? And then I was like, okay, now I don't know what to say because I don't know if he's asking me because he wants me to say no or if he wants me to say yes. Like, I don't know if he wants me to be like familiar with white cock or if he wants me to be like, well, I never sucked a cock. Right. I don't know. So then I was like, fuck, I'm like sitting in my text, I'm like staring at my phone, like, what do I say? I don't know. And I'm like, what's the best case scenario here? And so I'm like, okay, once, because the reality is I literally in life have only fucked a white boy once. Mm-hmm. Like, literally. I feel like I talked about this actually on the podcast previously where I went on a yacht day and it was a white boy and I had met him and he actually had a big ass white ass dick and he like eating coochie and all that shit and it was like crazy or whatever. Anyway, he's the one white boy who I fucked and that was my one white boy experience. So I don't know. He said, do you ever suck white dick? So I ended up saying, yes, one time. And he was like, okay, cool. So, you already know what you're getting into. And I'm like, I don't know what that means because dick is dick. Yeah, like, what the fuck are we even talking about? Anyway, he did all that anxiety shit and he got a real average ass dick. Like, sizing wise, it's perfectly fucking fine. Good. It's not crazy fat. It's not crazy long. It's just a regular ass, like 6-inch dick and with a little. Really decent. It's fucking regular as shit.
Perfect. Like, if you want to work it, that's a perfect dick. Like,
I always say as long as it fits in my mouth comfortably and if it's small enough, you could do a little, you could look, it's long enough to do it's long enough to do the 2-hand guac. There you go. It's good enough so I can comfortably just deep throat it and be looking like I'm doing real extra shit, but I'm really fucking not. Yes. You feel me? Like, so, it's a good little white dick. And, I've been fucking with him for a little bit and it's nice and he's cool. And it's just like, I don't really know about white men, but I've just been doing white men. So I just wanted to announce that to the world. That is very interesting because I'm just wondering I always think, what type of conversations you have
with white men?
Yes.
I don't. We don't really have a lot of conversations.
That's good then.
So the couple times that I've hung out with him now have been we've watched the Travis Scott documentary.
He fits. They love him.
It's a demographic, right? We cuddled a little bit, and then fucked around, and it's been not a lot of or I'd be asking him about his games. So I'd be like, oh, how's it going? And I don't even know how to talk. I don't know how to talk about sports. So I don't really be getting. I don't go too in depth. So I'll just be like, oh, how are you?
Did you win?
Performing?
How many points did you?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be like, oh, I seen you on Twitter because you're going viral or whatever. Yeah, I'm like, oh, you supposed to be doing so good, but.
So, did you get recommended because he likes black women? He likes.
I got recommended because the homeboy who introduced me is a head connoisseur, and so he be trying to put me onto people so that they can experience my head, basically.
Okay.
So it was, but the thing is, I don't even think that this boy is a head. I think he just took his homeboy's word and was just let me link with her because he said so. But he's not a dude who's oh, I love getting my dick sucked. So, yeah, he's not really. I think that he just was going off his homeboy.
Yeah. So I was just if he was one of those people that's just I love black women.
No. That's that would be weird. Fetishy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
He doesn't really seem that. I will be honest that he is a white guy. I would love to meet a white man who's a white man. You know what I mean? Not a good emo white boy. You know what I mean? A little depressing. We could cry and have sex. I would like that. But to be honest, he is not one of those white boys. He's a white boy who listens to Travis Scott and tries to
South Florida white. He be trying to talk white boys around here that's that being.
But he's not even Hispanic, so he can't even have that little edge to it. He's straight up white, what's it called?
Justin Bieber.
What's it called? No, what's it called? There's a acronym for WASP. A WASP. I don't even know what it stands for, but it's white Anglo-Saxon. He's straight up white. It's red. He's not, no edge to it. Damn. But he be trying to act like he a little, rough around the edges. Yeah, but he don't have no nothing.
Since you and I have been separated, you've gotten more tolerance for white people, and I've gotten less tolerance for white people.
But I have gotten less tolerant, but I just have, I don't know.
There's no way in
I hear you. And I support that, and I'm with that logically. It just vaginally and orally, apparently something else is going on with me. I'm not really sure. I don't know.
Is it? I don't know. I'm just thinking that maybe it's some men. I like fucking with them because they're powerful, and I like being in control over a power. So not powerful, but in a sense of
he's super
a white man, and
I hear you. I know he's a colonizer, and I'm gonna colonize him.
Right,
but that ain't the situation.
That's not what that is.
No, he's straight up he would do anything. Okay. He would do anything I say.
Okay. That works. Well, go you. I'm happy for you, though.
So I'm moving on to white, apparently.
Expand your horizon.
Get the white.
Yes.
And
they got money, too.
That's what I was going to say.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so we are doing a new segment on the Savage Life podcast called Just the Tip.
Just the Tip.
And for every Just the Tip, we are going to answer fan mail kind of questions that people submit to us. And
We got lots of questions.
Also, I would like to, like, full disclosure, these first list of questions we got from my Instagram, and I did not tell you all that this is what your questions are going to be used for. So if you submitted your question and I'm reading it, it's anonymous, but you know, so
appreciate you.
Yeah. Would one of y'all want to go first, or should I go ahead and read my question?
Well, honestly, I'll go first.
Okay, here.
My question was kind of answered. We kind of talked about it.
We did talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. So, the listener, user, subscriber, said that I am trying to normalize fatness to be a better person to others as well as myself. Any tips?
Yeah.
And my tip is just be fat and live your fucking life. Like, just do what the fuck you want to do, no matter what people say. Wear what the fuck you want to wear. Like, own that shit. Just own it. And I've taken, pleasure in, I like wearing shit that makes people uncomfortable. Like, I like wearing shit that has other people looking at me like, damn, this big bitch got stretch marks out and shit. And it's like, yes, bitch.
Yes, I do.
Look at my stretch marks. Yes. Aren't they fucking cute? Like, don't you love this? Like, and just do that. And the more, and I got my confidence from watching other fat people do that. Yeah. And like, you see how they're so okay. And so live your fucking life. You're a fucking human. The bloods run through your veins the same way they run through a skinny bitch's veins. So live your fucking life.
Yeah, good for you. And you know, it's interesting because when you're talking, what I think of is like, so my mom growing up did this thing where when she's fat and when we saw fat women out who did that, she was so, like, her feathers were so ruffled by that. Mm-hmm. And that to me was like such a reflection of her internalization of her own size.
Yeah. Right.
And it was like, she did the opposite. She like covered herself up so much where when she saw other women who were like, bitch, I'm fat and I'm gonna put my titties out, or bitch, I'm fat and I'm gonna do. Like, she was just so uncomfortable by their, because maybe sometimes it's not even confidence, right? So like you have made sense of that as like, I'm gonna be confident, I'm gonna do it on my skin. Sometimes people don't do it. People don't always have that politics, but the point is you can still do whatever the fuck you want because it's your body.
Right.
But she completely understood it as like, how dare they, I feel like.
Right.
And so that was my experience with fatness, I feel like, growing up, besides like my own size and fluctuating weight, was like mostly hearing my mom talk about her own size, and then her talking about other women who like, how dare they show their fatness and flaunt their fatness, and oh, they should not be wearing that. And so I feel like it's so important to do what you need to do, but if you are someone who chooses to kind of go that route where it's like, you're gonna look at my fucking fat body, I think that's fucking amazing, because why the fuck not?
Why the fuck not?
Why the fuck not? I also want to say, like, for me, what has been helpful in terms of like fat phobia is I think I wrote about this for my Patreon in terms of like how I engage Instagram. So like, I typically look through my Instagram feed every morning, and what I noticed is that my Instagram feed was full of bitches who like have had work done, who have bodies that are not realistic for me to ever be achievable to me. And it's no shade to them, right? I've had work done, whatever else. It's just that it warped my sense of body, whatever. Yeah. And instead of me being like, feeling good about myself and whatever else, it was like, why can't I look like that? Okay, I need to go get work done. Maybe I should get like, well, I'm gonna just get the fat stick out of my back. Oh, I'm gonna, and it was like, I'm gonna change my entire Instagram so that I'm looking at pictures of art, pictures of cats, or other fat bitches, or whatever, shit that makes me feel good. And so I just want to say, in terms of like my own fat phobia stuff, that was like my immediate change, was like changing the view of my Instagram so that I'm not looking at people who make me feel like shit.
Me too.
I agree. I mean, before my Instagram got deleted, I was also following like a whole bunch of like Instagram model type bitches.
Correct.
And each time I pulled out on Instagram, I was like, I need to pay for a BBL.
Yep.
I need to get this, I need to get that done. And when my Instagram got deleted and I made my new one now, and I don't follow anybody, now I got like a clean slate to follow whoever I want.
Right.
I don't follow anybody but like people that I know and like pages of like cars or like nature and shit like that. And now I don't even think about my body like that. And it's kind of weird how like just simple things like that just change your way of thinking. Because like, when I did follow all of those type of women, I did feel very insecure.
Absolutely.
And I was like, how can I even like as a sex worker, I'm like, how can I even compete as a sex worker with these women when I've never had a body done?
Right.
When I've never had my body done, when I've never had my titties done, when I don't have this and I don't have that, I don't have the other. And it was just very hard for a while. Like, just even logging on social media, it was just a mess.
Yeah, I remember you talking a lot about like getting BBL and getting like and stuff, and I would just be watching like, does she know that her ass is fat as fuck? Like,
and that's
when
fat
old ass. Like, does she know that?
Listen, when I did the bottle service thing and they took those pictures of me and I was like, this can't be my
what the fuck?
That's and I was looking and my sister was like, yeah, that's why when you say you want to get your ass done, I don't understand that shit. And I'm like, you're right, I don't really need that shit. Like, I don't. Like, if I just worked out a little bit, did a little bit of squats, I'd be okay. Like, I don't really need that shit. But it's just the idea of having this like super small waist. When I was watching these women, looking at these women, they have like the super snatch waist and the big old butts and this, and I was just like, that's what I need to look like. But in reality, it's like, bitch, even if you get this surgery, there is no guarantee you're going to look like that. Even if you get that surgery, because my body is still different than theirs. So you might get the surgery and you still might be a little bit wider. You still might be a little bit thicker. So it's like...
And then you got to maintain it.
Yeah,
right. It's a whole nother thing.
Like, keep up. And I know I'm not. Because I hate it. Exactly. And I love eating. So it's like, I'm just going to have to accept that my body is this way. And
shout out to sex workers in my... becoming more comfortable with my body-ness, because a lot of the plus size sex workers are the people that I chose to follow on Instagram when I went through that, and because they have a level of look at me that no one else.
Like Kayana Moore. Shout out to Kayana Moore.
Like, oh my gosh, and just like they have a level of enjoy this, and like I am sexy, and there are so many people who agree that think that is sexy, that understand that sexy, and like fuck you to the people who don't. Like there's someone for everyone. There really is someone for everyone. Everybody has their niche.
Absolutely.
So show your roles.
I love that. Good for you.
Thanks.
All right, so my just the tip question is, how do I make sure this pussy remains as tight as a fresh sew-in? What is the obsession with tight coochie?
I don't know.
Like, what even is the fucking obsession with tight coochie? What is the obsession with tight coochie?
I think that people hear like, oh, this pussy is so tight.
And how do you even know if you're
how are we gauging tightness?
Right, like how do you know? Like, I don't know if my shit is tight. I just know my shit is there.
I know for a fact my shit is not gripping. My shit is not tight. My shit is definitely a little.
How do you know for a fact?
I know, because I just know that because I be trying. Okay, let me say this: when I have a real big old dick inside my pussy and I try to squeeze I do not be having no muscle strength. Like. And actually, it's so funny because Stretch is sitting over there and he's listening. And when his dick is so big, and when his dick is in my pussy, I be trying to squeeze it. And I guess he could probably feel it. But like, it might not be like, damn, I don't have the muscle strength.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, so my shit probably is not gripping. And my shit is not, what's the word? They'd be like, yanking. My shit not yanking. Like,
you've become a Miami person. That sounds like that is straight from Dade County. That sounds like that is straight from Dade County.
Not yanking. Nah, but I just want to say that, first of all, pussies being tight is like talking about vaginas being tight. We're really talking about vaginas being unaroused. So when vaginas get aroused, they become looser and more lubricated to accommodate a penis, a plastic, fingers, whatever kind of penetration. So if you're doing non-penetrative activities and your vagina is getting lubricated, like you're getting turned on, you're getting horny, your shit is automatically going to become deeper. Think of your vaginal canal as like a balloon. So it's going to expand when you're aroused. And literally the whole point is to fucking accommodate things. Mm-hmm. So if you are, you've done all those activities and you're turned on, it's not going to be tight because it is not built like that. The intention is not that it is to be tight. So tight coochies, if you're dealing with people who have tight vaginas, part of that may be honestly because they're not turned on enough and they may be uncomfortable. So I feel like that's a whole other conversation of like talking to your partners about like how much arousal they need to be able to enjoy penetrative shit. You know, what do they need to be turned on enough? What type of activities, blah, 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 And also, like, who gives a fuck about a fucking tight pussy? Like, first of all, you gonna take what coochie comes out the pants, whether it's tight, loose, stinky, not stinky, hairy, not hairy. Like, you gonna take what the fucking comes out. Like, hello?
I just don't understand. How do you know if like a coochie is tight or not? Like, how do you know? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know if mine is tight or not, but I know people be in this motherfucker. I don't know nothing else besides that. Like,
no. I know, like, I can squeeze my pussy muscles. Do I know that they're doing something?
Right. I don't, but exactly, like, I can squeeze my pussy muscles too, but does that necessarily mean my pussy
is it yanking?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Doesn't mean I have pussy and I have really strong pussy muscles. Like, what does that mean? I don't know. Like,
and also, like, pussy tightness or accommodativeness. I don't even want to say looseness because I feel like that word is so loaded. But that also has to do, I just want to say this because we're going to, like, you know, whatever. Also has to do with size of penis.
Yes.
So, like, people who have larger penises or larger plastics or whatever, it's going to feel like it's wrapping around and gripping around the dick a little more. If I'm really turned on and you have a really skinny dick, I'm sorry, but it's going to feel like you just sloshing around in that bitch. Dead ass. But if I'm, like, not really that aroused and you got a big ass dick, my shit's going to feel dumbass tight. Like, you're going to be like, oh my God, that coochie is tight. Like, I remember I used to fuck this dude who had a big ass fucking dick. And I would shove lube up in my vagina before I fucked him because he didn't do any foreplay. So I would shove lube up there so I would be super dumbass wet. And then he would put his big ass penis in me and it would go in easily because of the lube, but it would be super tight because I'm not turned on and he doesn't do any foreplay. So in his head, he used to always tell me, your pussy is so tight, it's so tight. Yeah, my pussy is so tight because you got a big ass dick and I'm not turned on. It's only wet because I'm shoving lube up there and you don't even fucking know. So, like, I just want to put that out there. It's like, there's so many things that even go into that whole fucking process. And I feel like
men have been trained to think that tight pussy is like the pussy great. So that he's talking about your pussy so tight, he's probably so fucking turned on for him. Meanwhile, they start ramming your fucking pussy and that shit don't feel good at all. It's like you're not doing what the fuck you're supposed to be doing. And also, like, do people not realize that a fucking baby gets pushed out of our vagina if you choose? Like, a big ass head can go through your vagina. And BTW, your vagina goes right back.
Correct.
There's no such thing as you. Yes. I took so much dick that my shit's so loose, so that doesn't exist.
Or that and having to do with, like, vagina appearance. Like, people thinking that vaginas that have longer lips are vaginas that have been, like, fucked a lot. Right. Which is like, what the fuck? First of all, how your vagina look don't have nothing to do with how much sex you've had or not. It's just how your fucking anatomy looks. So
that's just how it fuck. I woke up like this.
Exactly.
Right.
So I would like to just reiterate that loose vagina, tight vagina, that's all propaganda and bullshit, and we've all been socialized around it. And so just be happy about how your vagina is. And if you'd like to have more comfortable sex, do more activities that are not penetrative. So do, like, titty stuff or kissing on the neck or, like, making out and dry humping so you can accommodate better and fucking shove some lube up there. And, like, pussy.
Lube is life.
Hello.
Lube is...
I love lube.
I love lube.
I used to be so ashamed of using lube, and now it's like, if I masturbate, I need lube.
Hell yes.
I'm always trying different lubes now, too. I'm always buying, like, 4 different kinds of lubes. I'm like, let me see how this one feels.
Yes.
Like,
I love lube.
It's
lube
amazing.
Changes the game.
It makes everything easier, better, wetter, slipperier, just more comfortable. It doesn't fucking matter. Everything is
And then
better.
if you're, like, having a quickie, like, you put the lube on, it starts you right up. Be ready. Like, I love lube. Lube is life.
Okay, so my question was, what do you think about working in the legal brothels in Nevada? I actually worked at a brothel like 2 years ago. Yeah. At a very famous one. Not the Bunny Ranch, but the next one. After that one. I was there because I was promised that I could make like $10,000 in 2 weeks, which was a lie. I did not make nearly half of that. Okay, so my opinion is, I guess if you want to go the legal route, that is an option for you. I don't really see the point of it. And it was actually a very miserable time for me. Number one, they take half of whatever the fuck you make. So let's say regularly, let's say you charge like $500 the hour or $1,000 the hour. You're only leaving with half of that. That's not including you have to pay house fees, room fees, which is like at the place where I was working, it was $40 a night.
And does that come out of
your check? Yes. Okay, so out of whatever you make. So let's say you only got one client that night for $500. You only made $250 minus $40.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. On top of that, you had to work 12-hour shifts, mandatory, no days off, no exceptions. If you were sick, you had. I remember one day I had a fucking headache, and she was like, "Bitch, don't matter. Go to work.
You gotta go suck some dick.
Go work."
So in that 12-hour shift, was there a limit to how many men or how many people?
No, you can see as many people as you wanted to see. Yeah. But the thing is, I feel like at brothels, there's a certain type of clientele that goes to there. Facts. And my type of clientele, I mean, I don't really see white men like that. I don't. Like, that's not my demographic. I mostly see, like, black and brown men around my age. Like, that's usually who I see. Yeah. And so the majority of people who go to brothels are, like, white truckers and shit like that. They weren't fucking looking at me. Yeah. So when I was there, I wasn't making any money because I'm like, these people are not the people who I see. Like, the times that I did see people, it was good because I would get them for a lot. But majority of the time, like, I remember, like, the first week that I was there, the first 4 days, I didn't see anybody. Yeah. And I was just like, yo, this is fucking insane. Like, independently out here, that doesn't happen to me. So I'm just like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Then you have to pay for your own testing, which is $150 a week. You have to pay for that. Yes, $150 a week.
So there's, like, it's basically like stripping. It's all these fees. So you got to make, like, triple in order to take home anything.
You cannot leave the brothel for any reason because I think it's because of, like, the laws and legalities around it. Like, they don't want, like, a prostitute to, like, be out and, like, catch a trick or something.
So this is why legalization is bullshit as opposed to...
Like, they don't want her to be out in public and she catches a trick because then it would be illegal versus she's in the brothel doing that shit.
Interesting.
You had to sign a contract, which... This is what really made me side-eye the whole brothel thing. Because, okay, so when you go, you have to fill out all this paperwork. And they make you sign a contract for 2 weeks. In those 2 weeks, you cannot leave, no matter what. If you want to leave, you have to pay a mandatory, I think it was like $1,500 or like $2,000. Now, this is my thing.
What the fuck?
Okay.
All of this is what?
Yeah, but this is my thing, right? Let's say this is your first time dabbling in sex work, and you decide that you want to try the legal way of doing it. And you, after a few days, you decide, you know what, this shit is not for me. I don't like this shit. It's not working for me. Now you can't leave. Let's say you don't have no fucking money to pay the fees or whatever.
Correct.
Now you're forced to be there. So that to me, you're forced to be there because you signed the contract. You can't leave unless you paid that $2,000 or $1,500.
No, that's crazy.
How much it was.
Wow. That almost feels like sex trafficking.
Exactly. Yes. That is my point. That is my point. Like that is sex. That is a form of sex trafficking to me. Yes. Like if I don't feel like being here no more, you're making me be here against my will. Right. Now I don't have another choice. Now, if I want to make some money, I have to fuck this man. I have to suck this. Like, that is a form of sex trafficking. Yeah. So it's just kind of, like, very weird. And then, like, I remember, like, you have to get, a license, to, like, work at the brothel. And we have to go to, like, the sheriff's office. And I remember walking in there.
I don't like that already.
I remember walking in there and just, like, the sheriff just staring at me. Just, like, he wanted to, like, he was going to walk in that brothel that night to see me. And I was like, yo, like, this shit, to me, I never went back again. They still advertise me, which is very weird to me because I have not been there in, like, 2 years. But I'm still on their website, which is very strange to me. But, like, would I recommend that shit? Absolutely the fuck not. You can make way more money independently. Yes, there's dangers, but as long as you know how to screen people, you can be safe. Like, and I've been escorting independently for 2 years now, and I've never had anything bad. I've never gotten robbed, raped, none of that shit. Like, I meet very cool people. Like, nothing has ever happened to me. So it's very doable to, like, do that shit. Right. So I really don't see the point of working at a brothel.
That's scary.
That is.
Because what I feel like I'm hearing, because you said something about, like, if you're a new if you are a new sex worker, I feel like maybe you think to yourself, oh, I'm going to go work here because I'll have some protections.
Exactly.
I'll be around other women. I'll be amongst, da-da-da. But it sounds like it feels more exploitative, perhaps.
It's very,
if it doesn't go.
It felt very exploitative.
You know what I mean?
Because I had no choice. I had to go work
what
the
agency
shifts.
do you have once you sign the contract?
Right. I had to go work the shifts. I had no choice. If I didn't want to work that day, I think I still had to pay a fee. I remember one day I was sick as hell. Like, I got my period and, like, the first day of my period is like very bad. Like I get really bad cramps and I just don't feel like doing anything. And I told him, I'm like, yo, like I don't want to work today. And she was like, no, you have to. Like there's no choice. And just like you have to like seem like you're into it. You have to be in heels. You got to be dressed up. You got to do all of these things. And it's like it feels like you're being forced to do things that you don't want to do. And like 2 weeks is a very long time.
Yes, it is.
To be stuck somewhere that you don't want to be.
12 hours a day.
Like by the
heels sucking on trucker dick.
Yeah.
Like it was not fun for me. So honestly, I don't recommend that shit. And that's why
that's very interesting.
In my last page, I used to offer like, you know, if you want to get into sex work, like I would
like
give you guys, and I'm thinking about doing that again because I have had people hit me up like, oh, I know you worked at a brothel before. I think I want to work there. And I'm like, yo, it's not what you think it is.
Right.
Because I feel like a lot of girls who work there, like, for example, there's this girl who works at the Bunny Ranch who's like this very famous escort there. And she's supposedly made like over $1 million and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, girl, your experience is not everybody's experience.
Right.
And
that's
then,
like a one-off.
Right.
That's what I was wondering. Like, so the longer you stay, maybe like the more notoriety you get.
That's what I think it is. Yeah. I feel
like benefits.
A lot of girls who have been there for years, they didn't even have to see new people because they would have people.
Oh, they had like regulars.
Yeah, regulars and stuff like that. So they would get used to them or whatever like that. But like if you're a new girl, and then it wouldn't even be a lot of chicks that would walk in there. It'd be like 2 at a time, and it's like 12 girls out on the floor. So it's like bitches are like fighting to get this man.
It sounds so much like stripping.
Mind you, this guy only got like $150, and then I remember like this one guy. He's like, I have $100 because there's a house minimum that they have to pay, and a lot of those people go in knowing that they don't have to pay more than that amount of money. So the house minimum was $150. So a lot of dudes would walk in, and so then I'd be like, I want $1,000. And they'd be like, well, the house minimum is only $150, and I want anal, I want oral, I want a massage, and I'm like, how the fuck do you think I'm gonna do all that?
That's crazy.
Not even I'm not even getting $100. $150. How much is that? That's not even.
Oh right,
$75.
No,
that's wild.
Wow,
it's nice to have that insight.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like you would never know that, especially watching like the Bunny Ranch on HBO. Isn't it HBO?
Yeah.
Like
and let me not even get on Dennis Hoffman's predatory ass. His ass has been so many girls fucking rest in piss, bitch. Like he fucking died. Like I think like last year he was charged with sexual assaulting so many girls in his Bunny Ranch. Yes. So many girls had come out forward saying that he fucking like raped them, sexually assaulted him. Wow. This girl that I personally know who used to work at the Bunny Ranch, she went to visit me at the Mustang Ranch, and she told me she used to work at the Bunny Ranch. She told me that when she was there, when it was her time to leave, her tires were like fucked up, and so she did not make enough money to get her tires fixed. And so she told him, she was like, "Can I borrow some money?" And he basically was like, "You gotta."
Right.
But it was not just him and like his people, and then I'll get you some new tires. Like he would like be very selective. Like the girls who would get the most would be the girls who would fuck him. The girls had to call him daddy and all kinds of shit. If you watch interviews of him, he basically says that women are too stupid to escort by themselves.
Right. So he's basically taking advantage.
Yes.
Right. And,
like he basically says like women are too dumb to do this shit alone. Like they need a pimp. Women can't do this alone. They need they need a man to manage them. So good thing he died. Because
rest in piss is what she said, and I love that.
That's crazy. Wow, that's really interesting.
Okay. So that's a wrap on the first episode of the Savage Life Podcast, brought to you by Kate Media Group. You could follow me, Raquel Savage, on Twitter, Raquel_Savage. That's RAQUEL_Savage, and Instagram, Raquel Savage.
You can follow me, Veronica, on Twitter at Veronica X Santos or Instagram Miss.Sag2.
You can follow me on Instagram solely at LexiLex, LEXYL3X.